Welcome back to Before the Bounce. We're here with the Amateur League Spotlight, brought to you by DFibs Are Us. Ando joining us tonight. He's slipping into Div 1 Premiership or Div 1 Grand Final on the weekend, fantastic. I should say. Brett Backwell, thanks for joining us again,
thanks,
mate.
Guys.
And I should just quickly say thanks very much to the Maiden Magpie, of course, to making their upstairs available to us and being live audience, which is fantastic. And Greg and Trent and Jason, Faye, thank you so much. Big one this week. It's fantastic and well done. Congratulations, and another grand final with the PAC boys, which is fantastic. You coached them to an A1 Premiership a couple of years ago. Is there much difference in the shape of the side? Have we got a couple of new faces?
Yeah, it's probably fluctuated a fair bit. It's a completely different feeling. It's funny, the boys were talking about it last night. The feeling compared to 16 to now.
Yeah.
16 was unknown.
Yep.
First year Div 1. No expectations.
So no expectations, and you won the flag.
Yeah, people didn't think we'd win a game.
Really?
So you come in, we structured differently. We played really well. We were very fortunate to win the grand final, and then we've probably lost a fair few players. We've got a few back, and as you know, lists change every year.
Oh yeah.
So we've got a really, really strong list. It's a great feeling at the moment. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of buzz around town. I think not having the AFL clubs still going, it filters back the SNFLs in the final week.
Exactly, yeah.
And everyone just wants to talk SNFL Div 1 now. Yeah. So being a standalone game, it's really exciting.
Yeah. Actually, on that, I've had probably 8-9 people that said they're going to go to, just people I bumped into today saying they're going to head off to Theban Oval and watch the Div 1 Grand Final. So you are right. It's just the other two teams out.
And if the last few games are anything to go by, it's going to be a fierce contest.
Yeah.
Payneham Norwood, fantastic side, coached by the great man himself, Macca. Yeah. They're fierce, they're tough, they're very well balanced. Yeah. They've got some key players that are really dangerous. Yeah. So it's going to be on.
Is it one of the toughest years in Div 1 that you can remember? Because the top 5, really, you throw the...
probably the top 3, obviously the top 3 all finish on the same points. And I think across the year, there's about 20 points worth of percentage different for the whole year. So super even competition, 3 or 4 really good sides. Yeah. And even on that day, some of the bottom sides would knock off the top side. So if you had a bad day, you get beat. So the competition's really healthy. It's great. It's really good footy. There's some really good superstars at that level running around. Yep. Some AFL experience, a lot of SNFL experience. It's going to be a big day.
Yeah, fantastic.
And Brett, you're obviously, from talking to you last time, you're a massive planner and thinker of the game and how to set up and structures and all the rest of it. How much footage of Norwood or Payneham have you watched in the last couple of weeks leading into the journey?
Yeah, if you ask my wife too much. I spend a lot of time at night, most nights sitting watching tape when we've played them, when other teams have played them. I went out and watched them play Roster Ever on the weekend. I've watched that game back probably 3 or 4 times. I've cut vision, I've watched that vision back. I've cut edits for players. So I know them pretty well. Yeah. Mac is the type of coach that doesn't pull too many shifties, so you know exactly what they're going to do.
What you're going to get.
They just do it really well. Yeah. So we're going to have to be better for longer.
And they've got Milne in the middle, the big ruckman, so very hard player to stop. He's absolute class. So you've got a bit of a task on the hands there. Yeah,
they're just strong across the board. If you look at their forward half, they've got Davis, Forster, big Nick Jolly, Christian Rook, ex-Norwood SNFL Premiership players come back and spending some time through there. Their mids, they've got the 2 Giannini's Ansel along with Milne. Yeah. Nick Jolly's a big, strong body that goes in there and rucks. Their back half, I think Dylan Orchello's the best defender in the comp. Yeah. They get Pierce Seymour back from the Adelaide Crows this week. So they're a very well-balanced footy team.
Are you finding that a bit like the SNFL, it's the change of style is really getting that way of the AFL and just the work rate and the changes as well from the interchange bench is greater and greater?
Yeah, I guess my philosophy on footy is I base our stuff around the AFL. Yeah. So we're very well structured. We shuffle the decks a bit. We change our lanes and layers with our footy. Payneham a bit different. Yeah. Payneham's Macca old school. They rush and roulette through the middle. They bash and crash, and they kick it in their big key forwards. Yeah. So we'll account for that. We've had a really good preparation. Yeah. I know sitting next to the latest member of the SA Hall of Fame is a huge achievement. But last night I was fortunate to have Peter Motley come down and talk to the boys, and just a bit about some of Jeff's history in the SNFL and playing in 11 straight grand finals and winning 9 and Mott's stuff at Carlton. And just that the opportunity doesn't come around every day. No. And you look at Mott's, unfortunately, the accident put to bet his career at a very young age.
Yeah.
So for our guys,
Superstar at 22.
it was just about the opportunity to make the most of this weekend, because you never know when the next one will come. And Mott's was fantastic. They obviously told a few jokes and had a bit of fun, and the boys loved it. So we've had a really good prep. We'll train tomorrow night, and then we'll hopefully lift the cup on Sunday afternoon.
Lovely.
And Brett, it is at Thebarton Oval. You probably don't come across many ovals that size throughout the year. So is that something that you've taken into consideration with your training load and just your match, I guess, set up for the weekend as well?
Yeah, look, we went and trained there last night, which was great. And we did some full ground movement drills and just to let the boys experience the different size. It is big. They have pulled, I noticed last night, they have pulled the boundaries in a little bit. So it's not as big as it could be. But it's going to be good. It's a big deck. We kick the footy a fair bit. We're pretty talented with our feet. We try and maintain possession of the ball, especially in their back half. So the big deck will suit us.
Will suit you, yeah.
Although they are expecting 15 to 20 mil of rain on Friday and maybe a few showers Sunday. So fingers crossed that doesn't come, because I don't want to sit in the rain. The boys play well in the rain, but I just don't want to sit in it. So
you had a pretty tough, your last game was pretty tough, because that was out at Payneham Nord, and that was a pretty tough sort of conditions there as well.
Yeah, she was boggy, windy,
Yeah.
Scrappy footy, and it just became an arm wrestle.
So as you said, that puts you in a good stead in different conditions. So whether it's dry, whether it soaks up pretty quickly.
Both teams got to play in whatever it throws up.
Yeah.
So you just got to be better on the day, and whatever happens, you got to adapt to it, and hopefully that our systems and we can control it better than they do. And it's not going to be won in the first 5 minutes, I'll guarantee you that. It's going to be an arm wrestle.
Just a little bit on the SNFL, being a former Glenelg McGarry medalist as well, of course. That's a big game.
It's super exciting.
You've got a big weekend. If there's a past player, McGarry medalist of Glenelg Footy Club, they got the big game Sunday.
Yes.
You've got a huge game Saturday.
I'll be
wow.
Win, lose or draw on Saturday. I'll be smoke bombing the silly Sunday antics to sneak down to Adelaide Oval to watch the mighty Bays go around.
Yeah.
It's 30 years since their last one, 32 years, 10 years since we went out in straight sets in 09.
That's right,
So the club are due, and they've been the best all year. They're very talented, very well balanced. I think their back half is probably underrated. Chrissy Curran and Maxi Proud and Michael Virgin, and I know Motti floats through there from time to time, but everyone talks about their forwards and their midfield group, but I think their back half is very strong, and it's going to be a good game. We all hate Port Adelaide. Except for you.
Glad you put that in.
But look, as I heard you say before, there's a fierce rivalry, and that Port Glenelg, I know I played at Alberton a few times and had different liquids thrown.
And reciprocal the other way as well, by the way. Don't worry about reciprocal the other way.
So,
played down in the bay.
Yeah, I'll be wearing a baseball cap and a mask and hiding up on the hill somewhere away from the traffic. But look, hopefully Glenelg will get the win. It's going to be a great game of footy. I know Port are in really good form, so the Bays.
Yeah.
So bring it on.
Yeah, fantastic.
Brett, thank you very much for joining us. All the best on Saturday and then for the Bays on Sunday. I'm sure it'll be a huge weekend.
Big doubleheader.
Big doubleheader.
Good luck and all the best, mates.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you again to DFibs R Us, and we'll be back. We've got plenty more before the bounce. Don't forget, find us on Facebook at the South Australian Footballer, Piranha Media. You can find us at our YouTube channel as well, the SA Footballer TV, for all content around South Australian football, all our magazines, and especially before the bounce each week. With over 155,000 subscribers, you can't go wrong with the South Australian Football and Piranha Media.